Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Northeast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. So check out the satellite and lightning picture here early this morning. We've got some thunderstorms ongoing across the New Hampshire and Vermont border. Quite a bit of lightning activity. I'll go ahead and hit play on that once again. You see the flickering cloud tops across that region. Elsewhere, a beautiful start today across the Northeast region. Lots of sunshine across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, parts of upstate New York. Additionally, we got thunderstorm clusters across parts of the Great Lakes into the Central Plains, and we can see those when we take a look at the radar picture. Again, check out the thunderstorm complex across the border here in New Hampshire and Vermont. Maybe some damaging winds with that as a little MCV, a mesoscale convective complex, where these thunderstorms have kind of created their own little area of low pressure as they continue off to the west and east there. Again, maybe some strong wind gusts with that. Additionally, some strong storms across the Great Lakes and the northern plains and a decaying area of thunderstorms across eastern Kansas this morning. We'll see renewed chances for storms across the Great Lakes and parts of the Midwest as we head through the afternoon and evening hours today, as we shift into a stormy pattern from the Great Lakes into potentially at times the Northeast region. The last 3 days of precipitation, again, quite a bit of rainfall scattered across the Northeast. We've even seen thunderstorm complexes back across the Great Lakes, the Midwest, the Eastern Corn Belt, and parts of the Central Plains, even parts of the Southeast and Florida seeing thunderstorm activity. And then as well, the monsoon kicking in across parts of the desert Southwest. So an active last 3 days will be rather active over the next several as well. A marginal risk for some strong storms across parts of New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and eastern Connecticut this afternoon. The thunderstorm threat kind of diminished tomorrow, but it begins to renew itself, though, as we head into Thursday. The next 3 days of severe weather threats. Here's Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. As the frontal boundary makes its way from west to east, so does the severe weather threat, pushing into parts of Pennsylvania and New York as we get into Thursday. Again, the culprit, as we look at the upper level winds here at 500 millibars, we've got a trough, an area of low pressure across the Canadian Prairie. Strong winds rotating around the base of that. That's the upper level support to help kick off these clusters of more organized and severe thunderstorms and help those propagate quickly from west to east over the top of the ridge of high pressure here. As we look at the surface at the response at the lower levels here, you see the area of low pressure spinning away across the Canadian Prairie. You see the strong southerly flow then, the fetch all the way from the Gulf of Mexico, drawing warm and humid air northward into the Great Lakes. And again, we'll continue to watch this pattern progress from west to east, bringing eventually a thunderstorm threat back to the Northeast region. So we head through the next several days. Let's look at the high-resolution NAM model. We'll see the threat for thunderstorms kicking back up across northern portions of the region here, New Hampshire, Vermont, where we had that risk for some strong storms as we head through the afternoon and evening hours as that area of low pressure begins to pull away to the east. We'll then watch back to the west, our next front making its way in, with thunderstorms igniting from parts of Wisconsin into the Central Plains this afternoon and evening. Watch for the threat for some strong storms across the Eastern Corn Belt on Wednesday afternoon and evening. You can see the time up here. And then as we head into Thursday, that front's going to begin to push off to the east. We'll see the chance for some thunderstorms popping up across western portions of Pennsylvania and New York as we head into Thursday afternoon and evening. So total precipitation between now and midday on Thursday, heaviest across this region where we'll get those thunderstorms popping up this afternoon and evening. Quiet otherwise until we get late in the day on Thursday, and we'll see those chances for storms pushing in from the west. Now, it looks like we'll be heading into a potentially more active pattern as we head into the last half of July, as we kind of watch for troughing across the Canadian Prairie with ridging across the western U.S. And we get kind of the gradient there between those two, and that kicks off the upper level support for those thunderstorms. We've got a hot and humid pattern as the Gulf of Mexico remains open. So all the ingredients there, again, as we head even into the last 7 days of July here, for an active pattern from the Central Plains into the Eastern Corn Belt and then at times into the Northeast region with clusters of showers and storms, potentially bringing some heavy rain and some severe weather at times. Again, we can see this evolution here. Again, the ridge nudging into the Northeast as we head into the later part of the week. That's allowing that heat to kick up. Again, the troughing, though, coming in from the west, that's going to allow for showers and storms to begin to push in as we head into the weekend. We'll see things kind of reset as we head into the weekend and early next week before resuming this similar pattern. We've got another trough setting up across the northern U.S., across the Canadian Prairie, and that's going to bring upper level support here for thunderstorm clusters all the way from the northern plains into the Northeast region. As we take a look at the precipitation forecast then from the European operational model, we'll go ahead and bring it back to today, watching for that thunderstorm threat highest across northern portions of the northeast region, where a few storms could turn severe later today. As we head through Wednesday and Thursday, relatively quiet across the northeast region, but late Thursday into Friday, we'll see those thunderstorm chances renewing themselves. Here's midday Friday now, that frontal boundary pushing into the northeast region, maybe a chance for some scattered strong storms, locally heavy rainfall. We'll then see, again, showers and storms off and on as we get into early next week. We'll see maybe a break here Saturday and Sunday before our next wave moves in here late in the weekend into early next week. This is what's really going to kick off that active pattern over the last 7 to 10 days of the month of July. So rather than showing you specific rainfall forecasts here from our operational models, which are going to kind of give you too much detail at too much range, I'll show you the probability of picking up an inch or more of rainfall from the European ensemble model. And you can pick up these areas, we get the orange and the red shading. That's where you get better than 80 to 90% probability here. And you see one area across the Great Lakes into the Midwest, but then also you see scattered areas with the higher probabilities across the Northeast. So we are looking at least for scattered chances for significant rainfall across the region rather than a very dry pattern across here. So we will deal with periodic heat, but at times hopefully balancing that out with refreshing rainfall across the region. We can see the heat here just to wrap up this video as we kind of take a look at the one-day temperature anomaly forecast as we head into the last 7 to 10 days of July. Here we head through the weekend here, the later part of the week, we see the heat rebuilding across the Great Lakes into the Northeast region. We could see some mid-90s at times as we head through Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe even into Tuesday of next week before the hot pattern continues, but we start to introduce the chance for thunderstorm clusters, which will at times mute the heat, so it's not just completely, heat and drought across the region, but it'll be hot, muggy, and at times stormy as we head into the last 10 days of July. Let's look at those high temperatures over the next several days. Again, 70s, lower 80s for the day today. Heat starts to return as we head into the later part of the week, keeping things a bit on the cool side in coastal areas into the end of the week before 90s widespread as we head into Saturday and Sunday.